In this video, what we're going to do is make our divisions come together a little bit better. Right now, you'll see that they have spaces between them. Now, in order to do this, we need to see our divisions a little bit better. So I was wrong about making my header the same color as something else. So I'm going to go ahead and change that color. I'll make it another green that I have. And it doesn't really matter what color for right now, just because we'll be replacing that with an image later. Now, the other thing that I need to do is change my navigation so that it is going to be horizontal, because that's the way it's going to be when I do it. So I'm going to click on the LI item, that's the list item within that navigation. It doesn't matter which one you're on. And I'm going to create a new style, new CSS rule, and I can remove the wrapper at the beginning. Doesn't matter if it's there or not, but I'll just remove it. And I want to go to list, change the list to none, go to box, float to the left, and for my margin, I'm going to click off that button that says same for all and just give it a right margin of maybe 20 pixels. This is just so I can see how that navigation is going to work. Let's click OK. Now, I also want to move that nav bar down below footer just because I think it's a nice place. It's nice to keep things organized as you're working. Now, let's go ahead and make all these divisions come together. Now, what we're going to be using is this thing called the box model. You'll notice that we have content on the inside. On the outside of that is padding. Then we have border and margins on the outside of that. And all of these calculate out together to be the visible width of our divisions. But it's kind of interesting the way it works. When you don't have any settings, you'll notice that there's automatically space between the divisions. But as soon as you add something, we can fix those spaces. So I'm going to double click on the header, and under the box here, I'm going to go ahead and give it a height of 100 pixels. Now you'll notice that there's still a space between those. Now when I go to my navbar, double click on that, if I give it a space or anything else, even if I do just padding, if I do padding of 10 pixels all the way around, you'll notice that it will fix that and those two divisions will come together. Now I'm also going to do padding with my content, double clicking on it, changing the box here. So I'll give 20 padding all the way around. Now I'm going to go down to my footer. You'll see my footer has space. So I'm going to do both of these. I'm going to double click on the footer, go to box, and I'm going to give it a height of, let's say, 60 pixels, but I'm also going to give it some sort of padding, and I could make it consistent with the others, either 10 or 20. But here's how the box model works. If you notice that I have a height of 60 pixels, but then I have padding on the other sides, then my actual height will be 80 pixels because I will have a height of 60 pixels for the content, plus for the top I'll have 10 pixels and the bottom I'll have 10 pixels. That equals 80 pixels. So now I can hit OK, and if I look at this, I really have 80 pixels for this. That 80 pixels doesn't seem like it was quite enough. So let me double click on that again, go to the box model, maybe I'll make that 80 pixels. And that looks like that's going to fit a little bit better. Now, we'll be maybe controlling this a little bit more in the future. But you'll see that now if we test our site using F12, it will save our pages, and for the most part, it's fixed some of the problems. Now, there are some problems that still exist about like the space of this and where the navigation is, but you'll see at least that the pages have come together, which is a good start. Now we'll go on and we'll fix things like the navigation.